everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Now, I'm in the JCB. I just hooked up the brush mower, and I'm going to go out and start mowing some brush. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to head out and do some of the waterways. What I'd really like to do is head out to the pasture and knock down some of the brush, specifically where I had issues with the bull, where he would always run back into the brush and hide from us. There's an area in there that hasn't gotten hit at all yet with the brush mower, and eventually where I'd like to be at with the pastures is being able to drive around the whole outside of the pastures. So I'm going to go out into one of the clearings and work my way down towards the fence and just kind of go back and forth from there, try to open it up a little bit. We tried walking through it during the summer months and we could not get through it. Even in the spring when there isn't any foliage on, we can barely make it through there. So I'm going to head out there with this and try to open them up, and I might get rained out. We're just gonna have to wait and see, but I'm gonna utilize the day while I can. So let's head out to the pasture and fire this baby up. You heard the JCB coming and he got up and started running away. I mean, I would too. So I bought this brush mower, I think 2 years ago now, and it's easily been one of the best purchases I've made. I've cleared so much area out in the pastures with it. The only thing that I wish I could do is actually like tear down and mulch trees, which this thing doesn't even have mulching teeth on it. I just kind of rely on the blades to pulverize all that stuff. It still does the job, it just, I think, could do it faster, which is why I've been looking at one of those, I believe they're called Fecon heads, and they're basically just pretty much straight up mulching teeth all the way across, and they run really fast, and you can really mulch down a lot of trees fast. I mean, I could probably clear a lot of these hillsides off with one of those babies, but what I've got is going to have to stand for now. This mower can take up to 7-inch trees. Can it constantly take on 7-inch trees? No, because it needs time to wind up. But once you get it wound up, I mean, you can start chipping away at anything. It's just, it takes a long time for it to wind back up once it starts getting beat down. So it's more suited to like thorn bushes, which is still good for us because we've got places that are just nothing but thorns. Where I'm going to be starting is a spot where I didn't get over to spray it and the thistles took over. So I'm going to come out here and just more for aesthetic look, I'm going to hit this hillside real quick, try to beat down some of the thistles and brush that's coming up, and then we'll go out to the other pasture and hit where I want to. This has been bothering me for a while. I wanted to bring the Rhino mower out, but just never got around to it because didn't have the time. Seems like we've been making hay pretty much non-stop, and this is the first day where I've actually gotten to take the brush mower out and do any kind of mowing out of my place this year, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Girls, you're not worth more's hamburger. Here's an area that I mowed down last year. Definitely needs some more TLC as far as getting sprayed down with 2,4-D to stop the brush from coming up. That allows the grass to take hold and take over. I had no idea this was even here. This is really close to the other pasture. I mean, I'm looking right at the fence line about 100 yards away. I didn't know that there was this big of sinkholes this close to the big pasture. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. But this is cleaning up a lot better than I thought it would. I am struggling a little bit because there are stumps. This was logged roughly 10 years ago now, and all the tops and whatnot have pretty much degraded away, but these stumps are left. The good thing about hitting them with the brush mower though is that you are scoring the faces of them to allow air to get in there and start breaking those stumps down, whereas over time they just degrade to the point where they turn black and they're hard, and moisture and oxygen have a hard time breaking into those stumps and getting them to break down. So now, something you got to keep in mind as we're out here brush mowing is that we're targeting primarily thorn bushes like this one. Ouch! Ouch! So we're targeting primarily thorn bushes, and they're extremely invasive. They take over pastures in no time. I'm not specifically targeting the trees. A lot of the smaller ones that the brush mower can handle, I am taking down to clear space, because we don't really need that many small new trees coming up, because what you end up getting is trees that will fall over and you're left with stumps, and then the brush takes over anyway. So if we can manage the pasture, get the grass to grow up, then I feel like the cows can, you know, cohesively live with different plants in the woods, except for the invasive thorn bushes. They just don't allow for anything to get in there and, you know, manage the ground. Hey guys, how's it going? The nice thing about the brush mower is that over time the stumps do start to collect moisture and they start to break down, and when you hit them with the brush mower, they tend to explode if you hit one that's been around for a real long time. It's the ones that were cut down 10 years ago, they're causing problems right now. I'll give them another 10 and they'll explode on contact. So I just had a pucker moment. I lost track of the fence, and now I see the stake way down there. But I was actually over the hillside a little bit, and I saw the fence line coming up towards me, and I, for a brief second, thought that I was on the wrong side of the fence. The good news is the cow's tags haven't changed color yet, and I don't see any with horns, so I think we're in the clear. But I didn't know I'm actually not as close as what I had thought I might have been. I'm still a good 20 yards away from the fence line, but I'm getting there. I want to work my way down to it and then just kind of follow it along back and forth so that we get a path going so that we can walk it. But yeah, I have cleared off a lot of area this morning. Oh, it's actually afternoon now. All of this behind me was totally unnavigable, and it was so thick that the thorn bushes were taller than the JCB. I want to get down to that fence line. I'm going to take it a lot slower, because the worst part is there's so much brush, you don't know what the brush mower's hitting. But the thing that I got to keep in mind is that for the most part, the fence isn't in the brush. I mean, the fence is walkable for the most part. There's a cow path along it. You know, this stuff up here is just so thick that I can't tell where I'm at. Okay, so apparently the threads on this adapter are shot. I thought I blew a hose, but it literally just disconnected. And looking at these threads, I mean, they look normal, but you're not supposed to be able to do that, folks. I can pretty well put that adapter on that end. So I'm gonna have to go get replacements. I think that's all that went wrong here. I just lost a ton of oil. It shot probably a good 30 feet, I'd say, into the brush. That pretty much brings this to an end today. Yeah, it just sits right on there. You can get it tight, but you can wiggle it loose. So I guess those threads just finally decided to give in. There's a lot of pressure behind that. Holy cow. Like, the weeds are soaked. I'm probably low on hydraulic oil now, so I'm gonna get back to the farm ASAP I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect the hoses on this mower. I got a lot done today. I'm about 10 to 20 yards from the fence. I can see it down there, but I'm just blocked by all these downed trees. This is a really bad area for wind damage, it seems like. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it should be kind of sheltered from the wind, but all the trees and everything are just blown over towards the fence line, and I haven't been able to get down back to it yet. I think with a little bit more effort, maybe the grapple bucket out here, I could get down to it. There's just a lot of downed trees that the mower can't get around unless you just push them to the side, and that only works in some circumstances. So worst part is I'm trapped here. Looks good to me. 56 dowel hairs. And the new part goes into the old part like this. That ain't right. We've got our new adapter on there. Let's give it a shot. Works for me. I got the motor all put back together on the mower now. I had to tear it down and put it back together because the bolts that hold the motor to the mower itself always seem to vibrate loose. So I thought I put thread locker on them last time. I doubled down on it this time. Next time I'm over at the farm with it, I might go get some metric nuts and double lock them on to hopefully try to keep it from shaking loose again. I don't think that was the cause for what happened up here. It just started, you know, vibrating and getting loose up on this end. So definitely needed to tend to that, but it's all put back together and should be good to go now. When I get the time, I'm gonna go out there and keep on mowing. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all How Farms Work. And with that, I'll see you next time.